This episode is powered by Choircast, the podcast network that saw my torch get snuffed and said, nope, not today. They're the reason that we're still in the game, telling stories about other survivors that surprise a little harder than a blindside. So if you like your podcast spicy, unpredictable, and just a little bit messy, well, thank Choircast. They gave us the flint, and we set the jungle on fire. Welcome back to Beyond the Torch, the most original, I think, Survivor podcast out there. Wouldn't you say, Todd?
Absolutely. We get to know the survivors inside and out, how life was before, during, and after Survivor.
Woo! And today, our guest, oh my gosh, I have chills. I'm so excited. Not only because I love her as a human being, she's like a really great friend, but also because she is the queen of Survivor, none other than Sandra Diaz-Twine. Welcome, Sandra.
Welcome, Sandra.
Inviting me, Leslie and Todd. It is a pleasure. I've been dying to be on your podcast since last week when I had the dates mixed up.
I know. I was like, she's really excited.
We are seriously so excited to have you here. For the fans out there, I absolutely adore Sandra from the bottom of my heart. I started as a diehard Sandra fan, and she has become my friend, and I'm just love her. So I'm super happy you're here, Sandra. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. And we cruise together. We even vacation together.
Woohoo! Well, I haven't been on the cruise, but
next one.
Well, maybe the next time if they want me to
never
come.
Say never. But Leslie, I've stayed at your home, and you have stayed with me when we were stationed in Tampa. Yeah. My husband was out at MacDill Air Force Base, so it's not like you guys haven't been my friends for years.
Yeah.
So it's different when it comes to you two, because we really know each other.
Yeah, I know. That's what we were so excited to do this because we both have so many stories about you that we love. And
so many.
So, but you know what? We're going to start today out. We're going to put a spotlight on the most amazing part of Survivor, in my opinion, and that is the fans. We do this segment every single week. It's called The Fans Have Spoken. And today we're going to hear from a guy named Will. Are you guys ready?
Absolutely.
So I found Survivor at the perfect time. It was a couple of years post high school. And in Utah, as Todd probably knows, a lot of people go on church missions out of high school. They lowered the age to 18, so all my friends went, including myself, I went. But I ended up having to come home early because I had a lot of mental health struggles. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. And I got really depressed about a year in, and they decided I needed to come home. And when I got home, I just felt like a loser. I felt like I failed. Just a bum back in my parents' house who failed on his mission. And then during that time when I was at my lowest, I found Survivor, and I ended up watching Millennials vs. Gen X. David Wright particularly struck a chord with me because at the start of the game, he reminded me of me. He sucked at it. He really fell on a sword. He was an anxious mess, which I saw myself in, but I was thinking, why is the guy even here? Why have they not voted him out? But he kept going. He didn't give up. He just kept trying, and he made things work. And by the end, I was rooting for David, and I was shocked he didn't win. When he won individual immunity, I cried hard because it made me realize in myself that even though I'm at this state right now where I look like a bum and a loser, it's like I can pick myself up and keep going. And so I did. And now here I am a couple years later. I'm doing a whole lot better. I've watched all the seasons of Survivor, and I just love it. But I also love life, because I kept going and didn't quit. And I learned that through Survivor.
Aww.
That's awesome.
Look, we can all relate. There's always times when we feel at our lowest. No one is perfect. Gosh,
isn't that kind of amazing? Like, it's so interesting to me because there's always one specific moment for the diehard fans or even fans that are just casual viewers where something stood out and made a difference. So David's story is an incredible one because David did start off like this crazy, anxious mess. And I feel like we can all relate to that, Yeah. So that is awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. Even no matter how many times, for instance, me, that I've gone back, that doesn't mean that I'm not scared, that I put so much pressure on myself. Then I don't want to look a certain way on TV. For example, Winners at War, Leaving Edge of Extinction, how so many people, I think, took it harder than me. just the anxiety to perform, and it's a lot of pressure. And this is from someone who has played several times, but I have run across fans that are like, oh my God, Sandra, I was in the hospital and I watched Survivor, and then it was like I couldn't turn it off. So there's so many people that pick up Survivor, I feel like, at the right time. Yes. And it helps them get over the hump. So, oh my God, well, I'm glad he's doing better.
Yeah, Will, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Will from Utah. And Utah is a beautiful place. I've been there.
It's where we live, me and Todd. It's so funny that we're like, what, 20, 30 minutes away from each other. Like, it was not the case when Survivor was on. Well, I was in South Carolina, but we moved here. So, and not because of Todd, but that was a bonus.
It's weird. It is crazy because people are like, oh, you live in the same place? I'm like, yeah, she lives up in the mountains. I'm at the base of the mountain.
It's beautiful though, anywhere you go here. So Sandra, let's talk about your Survivor experience, because this is like, I can't wait to hear, because I'm going to be honest, I've lost count of how many times you've actually played the game. So let's talk about what I know. Todd's way better at that. So tell us, what have you been on and what got you started and why did you decide you wanted to even do it in the first place?
Okay, I hope I can remember all three of those questions. What have I been on? Survivor Pearl Islands, which was my first time, season 7. Then Heroes versus Villains, season 20.
Which she won both of.
Yes. Yeah, I almost forgot that, right? That's like the most important part. Then I did Game Changers, season 34. Then I was a mentor on 39, Island of the Idols. Then I played on Winners at War. And then they called me for the Australian version. So that was season 7, Blood versus Water. So how many have I been on? And then the second question was,
what got you started?
And then you did the Traders.
Yeah, of course, the Traders.
Then I did the Traders, but I most recently did 99 to Beat, which premieres on September 24th, which is the same day as season 49 of Survivor.
Oh, cool.
It's a Fox show. So I did the Traders cruise with Rachel Riley, and then I got home and she was like, hey, there's this show. It's called, at that time, it didn't even have a name. There's a show. Mm-hmm. And they're looking for stunt actors. And I'm like, what is that? And she was like, people who have already been on reality TV, but they leave like in the next 2 weeks. Would you be interested in it? And I was like, well, what's it about? And she was like, I don't know too much about it, but it's like Minute to Win It, where you do a bunch of silly things, fast or whatever. So she really didn't know too much. And it was called The Ultimate Game Show for me. Everything said The Ultimate Game Show. And then I was like, yeah, give them my number, let them call me. And they called me. They were like, they knew my backstory. They knew what I'd been on. And they just needed a couple of people to come out there and play. And I was like, screw it, I'm not doing anything else.
Why not?
Yeah. So I ended up in the UK.
Oh, wow.
And then Danny Boatwright is there from Guatemala. We played in Winners at War. And Cara Maria from The Challenge, and then Tommy from Big Brother, and he also did, was it The Challenge or The Amazing Race, or both? What did Tommy do?
I think the Challenge. I don't think it was
both. He did both.
I have to look that up.
I don't know.
But I know Tommy did something else. I want to say he did The Challenge USA.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. But anyway, there was about 12, 13 different reality stars there, from Deal or No Deal Island, Squid Games, Mr. Beast, and then we just had a good time. And that's that's good. That's a fun one. And if they do a season 2, I think you guys need to go.
I will not say no.
Call me.
Listen, they took people from all over the world.
All Mr. Beast and Squid Game.
Yep, all shapes, all sizes, all everything. Like, it was just people competing. And then what am I up to? What was the other question?
So the other question was, what got you started?
Yeah, what made you want to even be on Survivor in the first place?
So I too was a fan, and I had recently gotten out of the military, And it was towards the end of the year. And that was the first time I had ever heard Jeff say, if you think you have what it takes, go to CBS.com. And like people say on TV all the time, he was talking to me. And I had always said, like, man, I would love to do that show. I think I'd be great for that show, but never looked into how do you get on that show or even anything to that effect. Right. And I was like, oh my God. So you just go online. And so I remember that Christmas was the first time we ever had a computer at home and a printer. Me and my husband gifted ourselves a little home computer and a little printer. And I printed out over 100 sheets of paper. And I said, I always fail at my New Year's resolutions, but this time I'm going to pour my heart and soul into every single question on these 100 pages, So it took me months because I was working. I was going to school on my GI Bill. I had my 2 little girls. So I was cramming a lot into 24 hours, but I still came home every night and dedicated 1 page or even 1 or 2 questions and really thought about it. Like that was the first time I really sat there and said, really, what am I looking for? What am I like? Like really, and I did it. I don't know. It was for me. And when something is for you or you want it really, really bad and you pour your heart and soul into it, good things happen. And I feel like that was my calling and I did it.
Yeah,
you just gave me the goosebumps.
I know.
And my video had never surfaced until recently.
I saw your video.
Yeah.
I sent it in, never made a copy, never nothing. It was like the deadline was looming. I put it in the mail, sent it out. That was it. So whoever posted it had access to those archives because never had it been anywhere out there.
Why do I have like a vivid memory of seeing your video before?
Maybe
not before it posted recently.
Wow.
I swear on my life, when I was like a kid, I remember seeing your video because you said,
or maybe
you
I
sat
told
down.
you about it. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe I'm making it all up in my head. But anyway, so I have to go Google this now, like, and watch your video and see if it's at all what I remember, because that's crazy. If I had seen it, I don't know how. Anyway.
I feel like I saw something, maybe a clip. Did they do like a special about like
maybe that's what
Survivor
it was.
one? Maybe they showed like a small segment of it, but it wasn't the whole thing. Maybe.
No,
I don't know. But
I had never known for it to be out there. So, and whoever it is that has it, like posted Sue Hawk's video not too long ago too, like in the last couple of weeks. So this
I want to
is
see my video
deep in the vault.
Yeah.
Deep in
We
the
need to
Survivor
contact
vault.
this person because I don't have a copy of mine. I want to see mine.
Mm-hmm.
Do they have
I
mine?
don't want to see any of the other videos besides the one that got me on because they were so like cringy and embarrassing. Like I didn't know what they were looking for. And then when I finally was just myself, ta-da, they called me. Like I was bungee jumping. I was wrapping myself up like a present, dressing like Gilligan and the professor and Mary. I did it all. And I'm really embarrassed about it. So if this ever surfaces, I will be dead. I will die.
So then, Todd, tell them to not only find yours, but find Leslie's too.
No,
yes.
You guys
like, I really want to know. Well, because I painted my face. Like I did.
Yeah.
I mean, I did all sorts of crazy because I was going to a Panic at the Disco concert. And so like, if you know Panic at the Disco back in 2007, when it was like scene kid, like anyway, eyeliner, it was ridiculous. But yeah. So I would like to see my video. But okay, so you only auditioned one time then, right?
I only auditioned one time. I only sent in that video and they actually called me on what is that day when people prank you?
April Fools.
April Fools.
April Fools. Oh my God. Leslie, talk about losing your mind. Like I forget now. I'm really getting forgetful, but I quit using Splenda. They say Splenda, to your memory. But my phone, so we lived on Fort Lewis, Washington in like a 6-family townhouses all stuck together.
Yeah.
Right.
And they were going to tear them down and you got to put your name into a raffle for the new on-post housing that was just about to have the ribbon cutting. And I ended up winning one of those homes. And that was the first time I ever had a beautiful home, you know, while we were serving in the military. And we live across the street from the American Lake. Like, it was beautiful. And I put the phone into the jack on the wall, whatever. But I was told that my phone number was going to change. But when the phone rang for the very first time on April Fool's, it was somebody from CBS telling me that the next day I had to go to Seattle for an interview.
Oh, wow.
And I just remember saying, oh, this ain't funny, Marcus, blah, 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 blah. And the lady is like, no, this is serious. I'm like, it's April Fool's. Like, I know it's an April Fool's joke. He was like, no, call back this number. Someone's going to answer the phone. They'll transfer it to me. And then I need to give you all the information you need to go to this interview. But it's tomorrow. Like, it was like tomorrow. So if you really, really want it, you just figure it out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I called back, and sure shit, it was exactly as she said. And so I just remember, with all the details she said, it was going to be the CBS affiliate in Seattle, go to this address. And I was like, oh my God, I got to do my hair and my nails. And that's not even me. And I don't even know why I said that. And she was like, no, we want you as simple as possible. Remember, this is Survivor. Nobody cares about hair and makeup, but I don't know why that even, like, because that
popped into your head.
I was like, oh my God, I got to do my hair, my makeup, my nails, and
that surprises me about you. Like, this is not who you are now, like, at all. Like,
no, and that wasn't me either. But I don't know why I felt like I had to, because I guess you see all these girls on previous seasons, and they're all so pretty and all this eye candy, all these handsome guys, all this, but that's not everyday everybody, you know.
No,
that's not,
definitely not
the whole of society, or even the majority of society.
Correct.
So anyway, the funny story about getting there, I didn't even notice that all over the wall it says do not speak to each other or whatever. I know you guys have probably heard me say this before. I walk in and I'm like, good morning, hello. Nobody would answer me. I said out loud, well, fuck you too. And I sat down. Then I'm
they were like, she's on.
No. I don't think anybody was there, but it was full of people. And they're going in 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes tops. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be quick. I go in there. I had to have been in there more than 30 minutes. I'm a talker. You guys obviously look. Yes. I can't remember what you even asked me, but I'm talking. And they were like, oh my God, we love you. We loved your video. We want to put you on. And there's not a lot of Hispanic people that apply for Survivor anyway. So I was like in a very small minority. Yeah. You know, so that helped. And I had just gotten out of the military, which also helped. My husband was constantly deployed. We had just had 9/11. Like, there was a lot of things that really helped propel me to the front of the line.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, and that's amazing. You. Like, when she says she's a talker, that's not a joke. You could get along with a tree if it talked back to you. Like, you are.
And that's why I try to get along with everyone. Yeah. And I don't really have that many people in the Survivor world that I really don't talk to. There's one or two, but you know, for the most part, anybody and everybody, I'm an open book. I'm an open door. Ask somebody for my number. You can call me.
You have the biggest heart of probably any Survivor I've ever met. And it's funny because, like, you were cast as a villain.
On Heroes and Villains, yeah.
Right? So, like, you and Courtney both are like two of the coolest, most amazing, most big-hearted people I've ever met in my life. Seeing you both cast as villains just kind of made me giggle. I was like,
I think it's funny though, because it's like, you'll be nice and you'll befriend everybody, but if they push your buttons, you're gonna snap back.
That's a whole different story. I raised my hand when Jeff said, who's on the wrong tribe? And I'm like, me. And I said, I don't even understand why I'm a villain. And he simply said to me, because you would stab your mother in the back for $1 million. And I was like, oh, okay. If that's what makes me a villain, okay. You know, like, but looking back on it and looking back on Heroes and Villains, I was in the right place.
Yeah.
I was in the right place. I wouldn't have survived in the Heroes tribe, and I wouldn't have wanted to be in the Heroes tribe. I was where I needed to be, and someone knew that me and Courtney were where we needed to be. I don't know that she would say any different. You know, we'd have to ask her, would you have wanted to be on the Heroes Tribe?
No, she didn't want to be anywhere else. I think having you there was, she said it was very reminiscent of like when she had me in Survivor China, you know. And it's funny, we just interviewed Lynn Spillman, and she was talking about how the reason that she put Courtney and I on the same tribe is because Courtney didn't really want to be there. And she's like, she's going to need somebody who will feel like home, and Leslie will feel like home to her. Like, I thought that was so cool.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah,
Did you know
crazy?
she puts the tribes together? Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
I mean, know that.
I knew she had a lot of power. I knew she did a lot for Survivor. I know we definitely miss her. But it's hard to know what everyone's role is because there are a lot of moving parts when it comes to Survivor.
She had some crazy insight. Like, and I, you know, the fact she said one of the main things that she looks for while casting is, can they keep people's attention in the final episode? And that was something that never would have crossed my mind, because it's going to be just, you know, 3 or 4 people for a 3-hour show. Are they entertaining enough to be that person? I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. So I thought that was really awesome. But I do have a question now that we're on to heroes versus villains. So obviously we had All Stars where Tina was the first boot, and then it was like winner, winner, winner. When you were asked for heroes versus villains, what was your whole thought process there? Like, did you think that you would do well? Were you afraid of being targeted because of the winner? Like, what was going through your head with it all?
Okay, well, first of all, they called me for All Stars.
Oh.
And they told me that as long as me and Rupert didn't say anything about where we fell off in the game, no one would know. But then I went to the doctors and found out I had parasites from the Pearl Islands. So then I didn't get the okay to move forward because then I was on medication and whatnot. And from watching what was going on, I said, oh my God, all the winners always go home first. But if I could be one of the last winners standing. So that was my focus. I know I'm going to go home. It's going to happen. It's inevitable. But I just need to be the last winner standing. Like, I just want to, whatever winners were out there, because, you know, back then we didn't know who was out there. There was no spoilers like they are now. We weren't on social media like we are now. Yeah. I don't even know that. Did we have cell phones at that time? I didn't have a cell phone when I went to Heroes and Villains. So it was very different. And I remember on episode 1, Randy came up to me and said, if and when we lose, Parvati goes home first because she's already won. Oh. And I just remember thinking, does he not know who I am? Why would you even say this to me? So I ran to Parvati and told her, but by then she had already gotten whiff of it. And this was like 10 minutes into the game, 5 minutes into the game. I don't even remember, but it was fast. And we didn't have an alliance, but I just knew that if Parvati went home, I was right behind her. So that I was going to try my best to not necessarily protect her, because a lot of times Parvati doesn't need protection. She, you know, she gets idols, she wins immunity, whatever. But I just knew that my days would be numbered the minute she left if I was still on, you know what I'm saying? So
absolutely.
That's great insight. Like, I don't know why, but like when I'm out there, my brain is like mashed potatoes. I can't think far ahead. I'm just like in the moment. Do you know what I mean? So that's why you won twice. Probably why.
No, I mean, I won because a lot of times, and I feel, and I'll say this, Survivor is 50% luck, I swear. And if it's not, if somebody is 100% a strategist and won off of that, a lot of times I was in the right place at the right time, having the right conversation with the right person.
Yes. Yeah. Well, and that's why I tell a lot of people too that Survivor is like very much a social game, because I mean, I never won any immunity challenges. You know, and look at 2-time winner here. Did you win immunity challenges? No. So it's like your social game obviously made people like you enough to give you that vote, because if it happens to be a bitter jury, they're going to choose who they like the most.
Yeah. Yeah. It's true.
You know absolutely. What I mean? And Rob was the one that told me that. He said, just remember, people want to like who they give the $1 million to.
Exactly.
That never, and he said it just like that, and that never left me. But now that you say bitter jury, I hate when they say that, like when the fan, when whoever the fan is rooting for loses, it's a bitter jury. You know what I'm saying? So they get on my nerves with that bitter jury baloney. It's whoever did enough to get the majority of the vote.
Yes.
Whether you see it or not, because they only see 42 to 45 minutes of TV back then. Now it's an hour and a half. But they didn't always see everything.
Exactly. I mean, and I'm with you on this. I always say to the fans, I'm like, obviously they did something right because these people voted for them. That's why they won. And that's why they deserved it.
The final three that year was what, you, Parvati, and Russell, right? I mean, and those two were kind of at it the whole time, like, and pissing people off. And you were just there to, you weren't pissing people. You know what I mean?
Listen, I remember when it was around the time of the merge, and it was between me and Courtney, and Russell was like, why should I keep you over Courtney? Just blatantly, he said that to me. And I said, if you allow me to make it to the merge and I'm in that jury and you're one of the three left in the game, I promise you, I will give you my vote for the $1 million. That was it. That's what got me one step closer. At the end, when it was about to be final four, he said to me, it's me, you, and Jerry. Parvati came to me. It's me, you, and Russell. Jerry, it's me, you, and Russell. I didn't have to say anything. Just like when it was Fair Play and Lil, they both said to me, I'm going to take you to the end. So guess what?
Keep the mouth shut.
Yeah. And then, but Russell came to me and said, why should I pick you over Jerry? Because at that point, Parvati was saying a lot to him about, no, Sandra's got a lot of friends, whatever. And I said, if you vote me out now, I'm going to vote for Parvati. I'm going to vote for Jerry. Coach is going to vote for Jerry. Rupert's going to vote for Jerry. Colby's going to vote for Jerry. Danielle is going to vote for Parvati. And you just lost. Letting him know Jerry's got a lot of votes out there.
Yeah.
Where with me, the only vote I could count on was Courtney's. I said, Courtney's the only one I know for a fact is going to give me their vote. And I was like, you're going to be up against two winners. No one's going to ever give us another $1 million. You automatically won by just coming with me and Parvati.
That was freaking genius. Genius.
And he did it.
Dang. So did you believe that, or were you blowing smoke up?
At that tribal council, I just knew Parvati won. I just knew Parvati won because like Coach, for example, you're a waste of space. You're worthless. And I was just shit to Coach. Parvati was anything and everything. And like I said, they targeted her from the jump. The ones that targeted her off the bat were Randy, Jerry, Tyson, and Coach. And she had to win constantly just to survive.
Yeah.
So he was giving her kudos for winning so many immunities and surviving. Yeah. So he really was happy about her performance and what she had done to get herself to the final tribal council. So in my eyes, sitting there listening to all this abuse, Parvati had won straight up.
Yeah. Interesting. So you were really surprised.
I just knew I was going to get $100,000 and I was not upset.
Yeah.
Because so many times I could have went home and there I was.
But that just goes to show it's proof right there that you just happened to be a little bit more likable to the jury.
Yep.
And that's all it takes. That's really awesome. And that was the first time I ever met you, was at your finale. I was in the audience watching. That was fun.
And then we met in Cocoa Beach.
Yes. Amazing. So much fun.
Back in the day. Ooh, yeah. That was a while ago. So, okay. Is there anything tell us about Sandra before Survivor and Sandra now. How has Survivor shaped you as a human being?
I always say, and I've told this to Mark Burnett and I've told this to Jeff Probst and even Lynn, and I'm like, thank you guys for giving me the opportunity, because they really did. And I live a totally different life. And I always say, I would have eventually bought a house. I just don't know that it would have been this house. and I know I wouldn't have been able to pay for it straight up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't have a dime coming in tomorrow and I don't pay my water, my electricity, that's fine. I'll be without. But this house is mine. I own it. It don't belong to no bank, you know? My daughters would have eventually gone to college. Would they have gone to college with grants and loans? But because of Survivor, I was able to just put which Tatiana, my oldest, went for a little while. It wasn't for her. My youngest went ahead and got her degree. But she left college not owing a nickel or a dime to anybody because we made sure, that she was taken care of. Would my kids have driven at 16 while I was sitting there catching the bus, even as an adult? No, because I don't think I would have been able to get them a car the minute they got their driver's license. So Survivor has given me so much. But
Absolutely.
my husband did do 30 years in the Army, so we would have had these things
eventually.
But I don't know that I would have had my house halfway between his 30-year commitment to the military. A lot of people get their homes after they retire, when they know how much money they're bringing in, how much income, you know what I'm saying? So, but we were able to do all these things because of Survivor. Yeah. So I'm grateful, and I don't shit where I eat. So I try my best never to say anything negative. People sometimes want you to, talk about this and talk about that. For me, it's always been positive. Mm-hmm. They've always shown me in a positive light. They've always given me, even to this day, when I do Survivor beach drops, I don't have to be at these Survivor beach drops, but they constantly call me and, hey, Sandra, we got a beach drop. If you want to go, sign me up, because Survivor is just the gift that keeps on giving.
I love that you are so passionate and that you love Survivor so much, because like you said, there are a lot of people who will be negative and have negative experiences, and I don't want to downplay that on their part at all, but it's been nothing but a positive experience for me as well. Like, I've had my struggles in my life, but that's not Survivor's fault. Like, that was my own personal thing. Like, I love Survivor to this day. I still love Survivor, and I wouldn't change a thing.
I mean, it's why we're doing this podcast. We want people to know. I mean, as we're approaching season 50, it's like, good grief. Like, this game has changed. It's changed our culture, and it's set the bar for reality competitions. It is literally like, and even though I didn't even last that long, I think I was on 3 episodes, it's still changed the trajectory of my life. Like, it literally did. Just being able to have that experience really grew me as a human being. And here's what I love about you, Sandra, and I'm not just like kissing your ass here. Like, I mean this. Like, you are such a genuinely kind human being, and that hasn't changed, even though you're the queen of Survivor. Like, you have zero ego in this. This is so unusual. Usually if somebody was as big of a deal as you, I mean, you can't go anywhere. I know this because we went to Walmart together when I was in Tampa, and like the whole world stops you, and I'm like trying to be, like, I don't know who these people, they're like, wait, were you on Survivor? I was like, yeah. Like, everywhere you go, people approach you and you're so kind to them. You don't act like a jerk. You're not like, oh God, here we go again. You're always like, I love the fans. I always leave an extra 10 minutes every time I go anywhere, just in case. And I'm like, that is so awesome. So thank you for that.
And you know what? And doing that has helped me, because there's been fans that didn't like something I did or something I said in the interest of the game, and they'll bash me. And then I'll have those Sandra defenders that'll be like, have you met Sandra? Yeah. If you had really met Sandra, you wouldn't be saying these things. But I also want to say to that Leslie, and Todd too, we're still doing things on account of Survivor. And although you say, look, I only lasted a couple of days, but the fans still know you because you constantly give, Leslie. And Todd, you still do your pops. We're doing our Survivor cruises. The fans, they're going to always know who we are, because we still stay out there and we're still active in the Survivor community. And this is because of Survivor. It's the gift that keeps giving.
This is what I tell like new players that I speak to when they're like, oh yeah, the fans can be a little overwhelming. This is the first thing I say, the show would not be around if it wasn't for the Survivor fan. And you are absolutely nothing in the Survivor world without the Survivor fans. So do not ever take them or for granted or advantage of, and always show love and appreciation, because they are freaking amazing. I mean, we started as fans. We know how that is. Like, that's how this whole thing started. So to me, the Survivor world, the Survivor community is so important, because the show has been on for 50 seasons. Oh, well, they've taped 50 seasons, but you know what I mean? You can't be around without the fans that long. Like, that's insane. And
that's like the cameos. Sing happy birthday all day long, if you know what I'm saying. Because of Survivor, I don't have to go and get a 9 to 5. I mean, my husband retired after 30 years, and he really, we take off a lot now to where I can't get a job because I'd probably always be asking for leave. But at the end of the day, I would not be where I am today had it not been for Survivor.
Yeah.
It's pretty incredible, right? So, okay, here's another fun thing. So there's a lot of odd things that have happened because of Survivor in the world. So, like, I'm going to give an example with Sandra. She called me one day years ago and she was like, "Hey, I've been invited to this corn maze in Missouri. Do you want to come?" And I was like, "Sure." So do you want to, like, this was the craziest thing ever. And I want to know what your reaction to it was. Do you want to tell them about it?
So we had to go. It was to the family farms. It was to Beg's family farms.
Yes.
And the maze was in my image.
They made her face.
My face. And we were going to do the ribbon cutting, and they were flying us in. And then I went to that hotel where the ducks ride the elevator. And then we went to Elvis Presley's house.
Yes.
Remember?
Yes. And the Arch in St. Louis.
Yeah.
And the restaurant where they throw rolls.
Yeah.
And I love that restaurant.
I might still have one of those cups full of like forks and spoons from a set that got populated. But anyway, so I mean, and so we went and we had a tremendous time. And I left that farm thinking, I want to have a farm like this, where families come.
It was the coolest thing ever. They literally made a gigantic corn maze of Sandra's face that we got lost in. And then there was a parade, and we sat in a gigantic rocking chair.
Yes, I forgot about that, but we had on that rocking chair. Yes, it was Beg's family farm.
Like, how crazy is the Survivor world? Like, this is stuff that happens because of Survivor, and that's what it's just so odd, but so amazing.
Oh my God. God, I have those t-shirts somewhere, because
I have my t-shirt.
And then we had like a scarf, right? Wasn't it like yeah, oh my God.
There's a whole bunch of crazy
that
stuff.
Is one of the weirdest ones. I mean, it was awesome though, but I've been lucky. We've gone overseas to do MWR tours for the troops. Now we're cruising with the fans.
It's
so fun.
Really incredible.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sandra and Leslie, then, I don't know how you guys first met. Like, what was your first interaction?
I think it was at Hearts of...
It was probably Hearts of Reality.
It was one of the events.
It wasn't Temecula, because I didn't go to that. But the Hearts of Reality, that's kind of been my thing since like 2011. Okay. Todd and Courtney invited me the first time, remember? And it was so fun. We had like a big China group there. I don't know if you were there that year, Sandra, but it's so weird when people have asked me that. And I'm like, I don't remember. I just feel like I've always known her.
Because throughout the years, we've seen each other so much that you kind of forget where it all started.
Familiar.
Whatever your first charity event was, Leslie, your first 3 maybe, it had to be something, because back then we used to do the Temecula stuff. We used to do the diabetes one.
Were you in if there was one in Houston or in Texas somewhere?
Oh, Yolanda's in Houston, the one Yolanda used to do.
Okay, I don't know.
She was the mayor of Houston.
Maybe that's when, because it was early. Because I feel like I've known you for a really long time, or at least known.
It would have been.
I don't remember. That's a great question, but we're both in our 50s, so.
And then we were the Breakfast Club with Boston Rob
Yes.
and Courtney. So
That
Oh my
was
gosh,
so
yeah.
legendary. That was legendary. That was
we've
the
done our
most.
crazy stuff together.
Yeah, it's been fun. And
It's
then
Todd
phenomenal, man.
introduced me to hummus. One day I
Yes.
was hungry and he had hummus with the chips. I didn't even know what the hell that was.
Did you
And
like it?
I started eating it. And to this day, from time to time, I'll go to Aldi's and get the little bucket of hummus with the pita chips. And then,
And I taught you how to play roulette.
and I still do. And I went looking for him. There was one night I didn't want to go to bed. And I was like, Todd's got to be at this roulette table. And then I went looking for him and he was nowhere to be found.
But this was on the cruise, and then someone came and said, Sandra's looking for you. I went immediately to the roulette table to look for you. And so we missed each other because I wanted to play roulette with Sandra again. But
Yeah.
So Leslie, you need to come on this cruise next time.
Oh, I would love to. I would absolutely love to. I love being with the fans. I love being with my Survivor family, all of it. It's my joy. I love it. And it's like the thing. I just remember, you guys both know, I'm such a connector. I love people. I love family. I love, found family, not just family, but family that you find as you go along in your life. And that's what it feels like to me. And, and Survivor can be whatever you make of it. Like some people, they do it and then they're like, I just don't ever want anything to do with it again. I don't understand that. Maybe they are just bitter. Maybe they had a terrible experience, which I fully get. I'm not really sure. I'm hoping that, the people that are going to come on this show, though, are going to be positive. That was one of the things that Todd and I, we were very adamant about in doing this. Like we don't want to bash this show because it's done so much for us and so many of our friends and for the community. And yeah, there are things I think that people go through, but I want to focus on like, where are you now? Like how had it, because even if you had a really crappy experience on Survivor, like it can still help you grow as a human being. Maybe there was something that needed to be kind of filed off that, that Survivor's like a nail file with sandpaper on it, Who knows?
One of the things that I always say too is like, if there was like such a negative experience, right? And you have like this horrible feeling about it, maybe you really need to take a look at that. Why? Yeah. Like, is it actually something inside of you that needs fixing or changing or that you don't like about yourself? Because usually when I'm like mad at somebody because of something, I'm like, oh, it's actually my fault. Like I'm mad because I don't want to be wrong type of a situation. But
I agree. I think a lot of times it's self-inflicted. The way you come off is how you really are. And if people aren't attracted to that kind of aura, then they send you packing, and so many people go just knowing, oh, I'm gonna win, I'm gonna this, I'm gonna that, I'm gonna kill it, and when they're the first ones gone, it's a hard pill to swallow.
Your pride gets slammed like big time, and that's hard. It's hard to recover from for some people. So,
and I think pretty much the ones that have left the game and we've never heard from again, because I don't know all 700 survivors,
same.
It's because it left a bad taste in their mouth. But you're right. Why? Because this should have been a great, awesome, once in a lifetime experience. But anyway, I want to go back to family. There's so many people that I could honestly say mean more to me than some of my own flesh and blood.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
I have had my back. Leslie, for example, Todd, when I took my daughter from North Carolina all the way to Seattle, I wrote on the Facebook Survivor group page, hey, I got to travel from the East Coast to the West Coast. Who can give me a spot to just lay down in and take a shower, and come morning time, I'm out of your hair. And it was like, brum, 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 brum. And I zigzagged across safely.
Yeah.
The same exact thing goes. So back when I was drinking all the time, Leslie would check in on me constantly. And then when I finally was about to get sober, I was stuck in South Carolina. And where did I go? Miss Sandra Diaz-Twine's house, where she put me in a bed and said, you're going to detox. And she let me stay there until I was sober and able to get back to Utah, where I stayed sober.
And that's what family does. You know,
Survivor
that's what
family.
family does. It's Survivor
We
family.
probably got 1,000 stories.
It's
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
It takes time to unpack them all because we have, Leslie, for example, I've rewind over Pearl Islands and over Heroes versus Villains because, you know, I moved on to Traders and now I did 99 to beat. So, you know, I don't remember everything because I'm 51 now. But there's been so many good and awesome stories along the way, you know, and sometimes I just need a little nudge to remember and then boom.
Same. Yeah. Same.
So the question really then is you've done so much. What's next on your bucket list?
Yeah.
What's next for Sandra?
So we have the November cruise of 2026, and I also knock on wood, I'm gonna go overseas again to do another MWR trip. And this was brought to me by 2 other survivors. I don't know how much of that I can say, but it's one of those military things that came to them. And then they're like, oh, wait, the other edition, because it was just a 3-person group. They were like, we know who the other edition is. That they both came up with my name and said, hey, she's not only a veteran, but her husband served for 30 years.
Yeah.
They called me and said, hey, you know, we got this opportunity because they're more recent winners. And are you interested? And I was like,
Always.
military.
Yeah.
I can go to any and every base.
Yeah.
You know, so if it happens, I'll be excited for that. But that's next year.
That's really cool. I mean, you're perfect for those kinds of things like that. I mean, like you said, veteran, your husband, 30 years. Like, come on, that's perfect. What about a book? Would you ever write a book?
I was asked about writing a book. As a matter of fact, Bobby, my fan friend, I call him fan friend because it's like fans that then become your
friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, we all have them that have our phone numbers. We call each other. He writes books, and he says, Sandra, you should write a book. But there's so many people that have written books. I don't know that I have anything else to add.
It would be about you.
It would be about you. They can't add what you bring to the world. You're an original. You're the queen.
I don't know.
I just finished Parvati's book, and she had a lot to say.
Carolyn called me and was like, you read it? And I was like, girl, I don't read nothing but Survivor contracts. And even then, I just sign most of the time. I don't read nothing.
Well, I just listened to it. I did the audiobook because then I can multitask because I cannot sit still to read.
So do tell.
Well, I learned something.
She got a little caught up on the words.
Her story was so powerful and so interesting. And I think, you know, we underestimate, we think, I'm just boring. But you know what? You're not. You've done something that nobody in the entire world has been able to do. And like, what makes you tick and where do you come from and why do you have this fiery personality? Like, people want to know this stuff. How did Survivor, you know, this, I mean, let's talk, Sandra, because, you know, I love to write a book. I've written a book about my experience. It'll never go like the ways yours would. I mean, I'm not the queen of Survivor, you know what I mean? But it's done pretty well. People are interested in hearing, believe it or not, even somebody who was voted out in the 3rd episode, they're curious, like what's happening with you. And I think yours would actually be a lot of fun. As a matter of fact, let's ask the fans right now, if you're listening, go into our social media. Let us know, what do you think Sandra should do? Should she write a book? And if so, what do you want to know? Because that might help you.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty much an open book. Everyone already knows anything and everything. Like I'm always, you know, up for doing interviews and podcasts. So there's really nothing out there. I don't think that people can't Google and find out about me. So that's why it's kind of weird, like write a book.
I think that you actually could really make something incredible. And you say it simply like you can Google and find out, but there's a difference between Googling and finding out and like reading your story. Because hello, look at your story. You even said if you didn't do Survivor the very first time, you would not be where you are now. And I mean, you're the queen of reality TV, you know, like
thank you to the show.
Like, Queen Stays Queen is the book title already.
Queen Stays Queen. Because Parvati's title is because of the feud we had when we were arguing back and forth on social media.
She does call you her Survivor nemesis in her book.
Yeah,
which is funny. And I'm like, you guys are friends now, right? Or
yeah. I mean,
okay, that's what I thought.
I always thought we were, and then going back and listening, because I wouldn't listen to interviews or podcasts or read about stuff to find out. That's what I don't like. Like, if you're going to say something mean about me, say it, like, call me and say it to my face. Don't go behind my back when I can't respond. So that's where all that came from, really. Like, it really, but no, we get along. I'm neutral. I don't listen. I said in 2025, I wasn't going to have beef with nobody.
Yes.
We're in August and I'm good.
That's amazing.
I think being in a neutral zone is a great place to be, because you're not saying anything bad. You don't have those, feelings about her. You're just happy that she's doing what she's doing, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I don't listen. I'm glad anybody and everybody is doing what they want or what they love and know where their next paycheck is coming from.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not one to, if it's for you, I'm not going to come here and snatch it, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, good on you.
Yes.
Sandra, I have a question for you. This will be a fun one. So what is something about Sandra that has nothing to do with Survivor that, I don't know, that you would like the fans to know? What about you maybe would surprise them?
Something about me that surprises them.
That has nothing to do with Survivor, but is you as a person.
That I love my birds, or that I do puzzles all that. I got a messy kitchen right now because I got a puzzle 1,000 pieces over there. I've probably done 3 puzzles this week. Something about me. I love animals. I feel like my house is a little animal sanctuary, although my yard is tiny. But I do spend a lot of money buying bird seeds and hummingbird liquid and I put up my little cameras to watch my.
I was about to ask, do you have the bird camera?
Yeah, so we got the Blink camera now, and we put it inside. So I've seen a cockroach go in there. I've seen a bee, a wasp. It was like a big roach, an outdoor roach. Because it has vents, because when they have the little birdies living in there, they need to breathe. It needs to, circulation. So they get in. So the bird cam is I have one on the house, one on the bird feeder, and one on the hummingbirds, and one outside the house of the birds.
I love that. That is so not what I would think you would be doing with your life, but I love it. I think it's great.
A perfect fun fact.
But I've always fed, like, okay, so when we lived in Tampa, I used to feed the turtles in the backyard because that's what we had, turtles. So I'd buy watermelon, throw whatever was left in there for them. I'd buy hot dogs. They'd come right up to me.
I did that with you. When I was there. We were feeding turtles.
But that comes from when I grew up in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Here's something people probably didn't know. So I used to live with my grandparents in Puerto Rico. And I would live between my grandparents and my mom. When things got hard in Florida or Connecticut, wherever I lived, I'd go back to my grandparents because it's simple living in Puerto Rico. Well, anyway, as a 12, 13-year-old, I used to have to go after school with the bucket to fill it with people's slop to feed the pigs, right?
Oh my gosh.
So I'm carrying this heavy bucket, it's banging up against my legs. I got slop. My socks are covered in slop, and then you go and you pour it into the trough or whatever so the pigs can eat. Because back then we didn't have like trash trucks that came and took your trash. You would just burn your trash. Mm-hmm. And so, but the leftovers, people saved it to feed the neighbor animals. Right. And so we used to have rabbits, goats, chicken, pigs, horses, we had about everything. So I think, and we used to get corn, and I used to have the little machine that we used to have to grind the corn. We used to have coffee. Yes, we used to have to grind the coffee. We used to stick, even after people had real washing machines and dry and all that stuff, we would stick the clothes into the machine that has the 2 rolling pin looking things. And my grandma didn't get a phone in her house because we live in the mountains in Puerto Rico, so it's not like the city people always got everything first. But my grandmother didn't get a telephone until I was in the Army. So I was already 17, 18 years old when she finally was able to get a phone in her home. Not from being poor, but just because we live in the
That
mountains.
was her life.
So now when we go to Puerto Rico, a lot of times when I go to the house, I can't have cell service until you go down the hill in downtown, or there's times the water still goes out. There's time the electricity still goes out, but that's what we're accustomed to, you know?
Wow. Yeah.
So,
So that's your roots.
That's
That's what you
incredible.
come from.
yeah,
Which
I feed
explains,
the animals.
it explains to me, because like one fun fact that I love so much about you, you've won $1 million twice, right? You probably made some more money in reality TV. Wow. But like you are such a bargain hunter, more so than anybody I've ever known. Coupons, you do what you can to keep. I love this about you. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Oh yeah. So for me, it's hard. I always say only fools pay full price.
Yes.
Like, why would you pay so much for something, you know, that you can get half off? As a matter of fact, so my mother-in-law last year gave me her Christmas village. And so she had a lot of houses, and that was the one thing I could always get her because I knew it brought her a lot of joy. But now that she's not putting the houses together, she gave them to me. So last year I put them up. So my husband catches me after Christmas shopping, and he was like, because when it comes to Christmas and Halloween, those are the only two things I really buy stuff for and decorate for. I don't really do any other holiday. And I have a lot of Christmas stuff. But my husband
A
has
lot
me
of
on the
Christmas
ring
stuff.
camera coming in with bags for this year's Christmas. And I'm like, I'm not gonna buy a little house for $40-$50 when I know I could get it for $8, $9, $10.
Mm-hmm.
And even then I'm on Facebook Marketplace. Like if somebody, because I join all these groups of Christmas villages on Facebook,
I love
and
that.
people are constantly showing you what they found at the Goodwill, at the thrift store, at the Salvation Army, at a yard sale. So they're buying these little figurines and houses for $2 and $3. So I'm like, damn, I can't wait to get one of those, but I'm on the notifications.
Good.
Yeah. Love
So
it.
I
I'm
can
gonna
do
keep I love Christmas villages too. I think I build one every year and I add to it every year, but I do the same thing as you. But here's the fun thing about this is I wasn't always a bargain shopper, but you made me one actually. And it all started with you because you called me randomly out of nowhere. And it was when I barely knew you and you were like, do you have the Walmart by you? And I was like, yeah. And you were like, towels are on sale for $250. You gotta go. And I was so confused. I was like, why is Sandra telling me to go? But then we got together in Florida and you were looking at the coupons and I was like, what are you doing? And you were like, I was like, you won $2 million. And you were like, yeah, but I want to keep $2 million.
Yeah,
And
you
I was
want
like,
it to last you. And look, last week they said on the news that vegetables went up 40%. Like, that's ridiculous. So
yeah,
now Aldi's is my favorite store now. Like, I'm around the corner from Aldi's. When it comes to fruits and veggies, Aldi's is the place to go. Straight up. Like, no lie, no baloney, because it's expensive to really eat good.
yeah.
The stuff that's on sale is the trash that we shouldn't be consuming, but you know, and now they're not couponing, they're not sending you coupons like they used to. You can't get those deals anymore. Or the max you can use is 2 coupons per a specific item.
Wow.
So I got a couple of coupons in my purse because the commissary will have flyers with coupons on them. But you can't coupon the way you used to anymore. You really can't.
Yeah. It's tough.
I love it. I don't coupon myself, but I only really shop sales and clearance because I've learned, if you want to keep what you got,
Yeah.
then you
protect
gotta shop smart.
Exactly. If I die tomorrow, is Todd and Leslie gonna say, "Oh my God, do you remember that $2,000 purse Sandra had?" Nobody gives 2 shits about
That's
your
true.
purse, your shoes with the red bottoms. If you drive a Mercedes or a Jaguar, nobody cares.
Yeah. Or if your earrings are real or cubic zirconia, they don't care.
Yeah, girl, I got a pair of real diamonds and I'm so scared to wear them.
You don't want to wear them to the Walmart?
Yeah, like no, every time you go on vacation or you want to dress up, the last thing you want to do is bring jewelry just in case someone, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so nobody cares. And that's what I tell my girls. Like, I remember my daughter, for instance, one of my relatives called me the other day saying, oh, I got to pay all this money for my kid to go to school, all these school supplies. And, I might not be able to buy them a new outfit or whatever. I'm like, did they grow any? These kids go to school to learn. And when they're in college, they're waking up last minute, brushing their teeth, grabbing coffee, and going to class. No one cares if they're in the sweatshirt that they wore last semester or during summer school. Like, once the kids are done growing, why are you spending all this money for the first week of school? You got to buy them books. You got to buy them pencils and pens and markers and the textbook that they need for the class. Who cares what they're wearing? Even they don't care what they're wearing.
I think my dad taught me when I was 14. He said, okay, you're now a man. So if you want to buy school clothes, you want to buy anything, you got to buy it yourself. Like, they stopped. And so I started mowing lawns and like babysitting and making money that way. And I knew how expensive stuff was. And I had to earn that money. So it was like, I had to really, really, really want something to buy it.
Yes, exactly.
I'm grateful that I was
another example is we would give my daughters a couple of $100 for Christmas because I'm like, what do I buy these girls? I want to make sure that they get whatever they want, right? They'd make a list of things they want. And I'll be like, okay, I'm gonna give them $200-$300, right? No more than 300, never. And they would say, oh, my friend got these new $100. I ain't paying $100 for no damn sneakers, right? But what I would do is I'm gonna give them the money and see what happens. You think they would run to get those $300-$400 sneakers that they wanted?
Nope.
No. They want it when you're buying it, but when you give them the money and you say, now you go buy what it was that you wanted, they ain't doing it. They are not doing it. So no.
So true.
Love it. All right, Sandra, would you ever do The Amazing Race or Big Brother?
Oh, man. The Amazing Race is real physical. And I know this because I have so many, so many friends that have come off The Amazing Race and Big Brother. To where they would be like, oh my God, it's go, 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 run, run, run. Well, guess what? Guess who doesn't own? Not only do I not read, but I don't run. So I'm not going to say no, because if they say, hey, we're going to pay you to show up, then hey, I'm coming, even if I'm the first one gone.
Sign me up. Yeah.
Try to give it my all. But the truth is, I'm not an athlete. So I'm not going to bungee jump. I'm not going to climb 1,000 stairs. Like, it just would be hard to bring somebody along knowing that our days are numbered, because I'm not the athlete, especially not at 51 that I used to be. Even at 27, 28. I was never an athlete. Big Brother. My problem with Big Brother is it's 100 days.
Yeah. It's a long, long week.
And not that I'm OCD or that I'm like always keep everything clean, but I hate messiness. And my go-to is the trash can.
Yeah.
So if you can't keep your panties off the floor, you can't get your clothes out the dryer when it's done, or out of the washing machine when it's already washed, then guess what?
Do you know what, though? You would be so fun on Big Brother.
That would be hilarious.
You would be so fun.
Whipping those kids into shape. I love it. And
sure, it's 100 days, but it flies by.
I've done it. It doesn't.
In rehab.
I'm sure it doesn't.
I've done rehab several times for 100 days.
Oh, rehab. There you go.
They may not want me out there because I'd blow their whole budget. Like, if I see dishes, okay, you didn't wash these dishes, trash. Take my plate, my cup, my spoon, my fork to my room. You know what I'm saying?
I've noticed that this season Rachel is like cleaning all the time. I'm like, that is how I would be like cleaning everything, because it would feel normal. It would feel like home. It would feel like something that I do. You know what I mean?
You know what's funny is I'm messy.
And if you're there cleaning up after everyone, you can't. But the way to fix it so that I don't see it is for it to go in the trash.
Yeah.
It's funny because I'm messy, so I would be the one who all of my stuff was thrown away by Sandra, and I'd be like, "What happened to this?" And she's like, "I don't know."
I'd be like, "I can't even floss without all this shit in front of me."
So no to Big Brother. What if they brought you some money?
If you ever see me on The Amazing Race, or you ever see me on Big Brother, all you have to say is she got her paycheck for the year.
That makes sense. That's fair. What about the challenge?
Oh no, that's real physical. They put me to be in the thing every episode. The fight at the bottom of the I watch it. What is it called? After they vote you in and you got to go down to the pit to fight to do whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
What is that called?
I don't watch the challenge, so I don't know.
I was asked to be on the challenge, and I said no. No.
Same reason. You're like,
I'm not an athlete either. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm not a
athlete.
physical athlete.
The safest thing that I would say do that I've done myself is 99 to be or the traitors. If they call you, you say yes, ma'am, when I'm coming.
So what about Squid Game challenge? Have you thought about that?
Figgy did Squid Games and she had a good time. I just heard that it was really, I heard it was really, really cold and it filmed overseas in the UK in this big old warehouse. There's plenty of stuff out there. There's a lot of Netflix has shows, Peacock, Paramount, everybody's got reality shows now.
Yeah. It's pretty.
And are you gonna keep saying yes if the paycheck's right? Is my question.
Sometimes the paycheck ain't right, but I ain't got nothing to do.
So you'll say okay?
Yeah, pretty much.
I love it. I think it's great.
I love it too.
But now, because I learned about carve-outs, now it's more like as long as if somebody else calls me, I'm free to go. You know?
Yeah.
Because I know where my bread's buttered. I know, I can't close myself up to, let's say, if they ever do this all-star traders they keep talking about, I wouldn't want the door to shut on me because I signed a contract for something else.
Right. You have to read those contracts.
Yeah.
No, I'd be like, just make sure that I can go because I'm not asking. I'm going.
Yeah. Period.
Yeah.
.com.
.com. I love it. Sandra, you have been so much fun. I know the fans are going to eat this episode up. There's just so much good stuff. Thank you for sharing your life. Thank you for your love for Survivor and the family, the found family that you have found with it. And for being a great friend. You're genuinely one of the coolest people I know. So thank you for that.
1000%. There's only a few people who I will say, like, they'll say, like, who are you closest to in the Survivor world? And I'm always like, well, it's Courtney and it's Leslie and it's Sandra. It's literally those three that I'm like the closest to of the whole Survivor community.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I agree. I have my list is a little bit longer because I have relationships with a lot of people. But I don't think there's a situation that I can get into where I wouldn't have someone, have my back.
You have someone in every state and like multiple countries, and that is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I've had a good life. I tell my family all the time, if I die tomorrow, don't cry for me. Because I have done and seen and been part of a lot. I've lived a good damn life.
Yeah. You know what I think of when I think of you, Sandra, is like wringing out, it's like, say life is this big rag that like has a bunch of water in it and you have to like squeeze. I feel like you have squeezed and I love that. And that's how I like to live my life. I'm like, I'm just going to take every opportunity. You get to do it one time as far as we know. So make it count, make it count.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Look, at this rate, we're never going to hang up, but all right.
It's true. It's true.
Love you guys. Thank you for inviting me.
Love you, Sandra. Thank you.
If you guys need me, call me, or if whatever you need.
Thank you, my friend. We love you so much.
Love you guys. Have a good
night.
week.
You too.
I love
how fun
her.
Was that?
Oh, Sandra.
She's hilarious. I just
wonder.
I mean, she invites you in a way that not many people do. And
it's so true.
Love that about her.
Without question or expectation. And then she's really the nicest human. It's insane. Like I would like to be as nice as her. You know what I mean?
Well, and it's very genuine. It's not like she's doing it so that, she's not running for homecoming queen, so to speak. She just is.
She just does it. She likes people. She cares about people. And it's one of those, like we said earlier, it's like she will be your friend and be the best friend to you. Just don't cross her because like once you've crossed it, it's like, can that trust ever come back? It's that kind of thing. But just love her like she loves you, and life is good.
Well, and here's the thing I know for sure, just being a friend of hers, is like she will stick by me even if somebody's coming after me. Like she is very protective of the people that she cares about. And I mean, that just says a lot about her character and everything. So I hope that you got to see that about Sandra today. If you're listening, I hope you got to see the girl we know, is just a genuine human being. Love her.
It's really incredible. And if you ever do see her in public, don't be afraid to say hi, because she will gladly stop, and then she'll say, let's take a picture. Do you have something that you'd like signed? She's wonderful.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because like we did get some fan feedback. I don't know what episode it was, but they said something about sometimes it's hard to meet the survivors because when you meet your heroes, you're disappointed. And that made me so sad. I'm like, oh my gosh, I hate that happened to you. But, there's good ones and there's bad ones. And Sandra just happens to be a good one.
I will always stand up for Sandra. Queen stays queen for a reason.
That's so true. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us today and for, sitting here and just having this nice little chat with us and Sandra. And, if you have any feedback, if you have any questions, beyondthetorch@gmail.com is our email address. Or you can always leave us a voicemail. We would love to hear from you because literally the fans have spoken is one of the most endearing parts of what we get to do is hear your stories, how Survivor has changed you or impacted you or made you mad or made you really excited about life, or there's just so many reasons and stories out there that I know we haven't even begun to tap into. So
absolutely,
let us know.
Yes, so excited.
We'll see you next time right here on Beyond the Torch. Thanks, guys.
Bye, everybody.